What's going on, world? There it is, man. It's funny, man. Today is the 9th of June. It's real interesting because, I'm catching up on like my podcast episodes I had downloaded. One of them came out on Thursday, I want to say, and it was Brilliant Idiots. So the Brilliant Idiots, kind of like later into the podcast, later on, they're talking about trolls and channels that do clickbait, people that do negative shit. Always gotta say something bad to get clicks and views, and you know what I'm saying. One of the things that Andrew Schulz had said, he said the first sign, like the first evidence of a lack of creativity is, all you can do is destroy something. The need to destroy something. You know what I'm saying? The need to knock something down, the need to, you know what I'm saying? And it made a lot of sense to me. I thought a lot about, since forever, I've always talked to people that are like, I want to make content, I want to do reactions, I want to do stuff. And they've never done it. But in their first initial reaction to like, what should I do to get it started? What they were talking about. These are people I'm talking to in person. They want to do reaction channels. They want to criticize bad teams and try to blow up their channel by making memes and gifs of like, whether they're bringing out the other team, bringing out another person with a different thought, whatever. And sometimes you got to, it's interesting because even if you go down the line of people from Kevin Samuels to, whoever, even on that line, they started out very positive and very, more affirming towards men. But down the line, it's like the entertainment aspect started showing up when they, you know, basically when they started to, what's the word I'm looking for? Entertain the audiences. You know what I mean? So I agree with Schulz, where it's like, I agree with him, man, because I've constantly met people that all they do is bring the energy down. You know what I'm saying? All they do is just try to tear some shit down all the time. Always trying to have like a negative, outlook on something. A negative, what do you call this? Uh, Perspective on stuff. You know what I mean? And they never get shit done. I'll be talking to these motherfuckers, man. I had a friend of mine like that too, bro. That's all he do. He was telling us a long time ago. He's like he wanted to do music with us. I was doing a lot of writing. I had some friends that were doing production and whatnot, and he wanted to be a part of it. And I was like, we're not denying that you can't be part of it, But it's like, bro, you ain't did nothing, man. So every now and again, he would praise us. He wanted to get recognized, but I'm like, I understand you doing all this praising towards us, but that's like once in a blue moon. But on the regular, all he would do was bash what was bad music, what was bad content, who had a bad channel. He would always talk about this shit. Always, always. And then, the science over time, like I said, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you start realizing he likes to talk about creative people, but he's never done anything creative yet. He hasn't created anything. So, lo and behold, this quote kind of brought things full circle because, like I said, I was listening to the podcast. And when I heard him say that, I was like, man, he's on to something. I know a lot of people like that. Excuse me, man, I'm walking up the hill. But I'm losing my breath a bit. So it had, really had me thinking. So I'm very mindful now of, that's like a good reminder, like reminds me of what side of the fence I want to be on. Side of the fence of, positivity and creativity, creating things and staying active, you know what I'm saying? Like staying motivated. Another aspect they brought up in that same episode, I forget what it was called, heartbreaking something, but that would have been June something, like first week of June, you know what I mean? Gavin, what's going on? Appreciate you dropping in. Thank you for dropping in, Gavin. One thing one thing they spoke about was, um, if you had a small amount of viewers, would you still keep entertaining them? Would you still keep going for years or whatever? And my thing is like, as long as I hit my numbers and I get where I need to go, because I'm not even paid off of this personally, but as long as I tap in with people and make sure that everyone's good, everyone's safe, all of my subs and followers are in a good, positive mindset, and that's all that matters to me. April, what's going on, April? April Sailor. I appreciate it. I'm gonna grab a coffee, man. I really need that. Low key, I really need that. That's morning. But yeah, Gavin and April, appreciate it, man. So I thought a little more about it. I'm gonna grab a coffee, but I'm still here. I might have to put my phone down at some point, but I'll let you guys know in the long run how things are. Jeff and April, what's going on with you? Let me know if you're still there. Let me know if you're still there. Hey, how's it going? Morning. Yeah. Can I do the same Americano iced, please? Yeah. April, chill. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Are you here? Okay, I appreciate it though. This is what they say. Oh, the wind. I should find it. But yeah, no, it had me thinking a lot, bro. Like this morning, cooking. I'm grabbing a coffee, man. I can't cook. I wish I could. Yeah. All right. I was gonna say the paper drop on the. Okay, just making sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Here. 1 second, guys. Just. Mhm. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I appreciate it. How about you? Yeah. I was indoors for a good amount of time, but it was pretty good. I was indoors, so yeah, I went to like a couple tournaments and stuff, but nonetheless, it was pretty good. Was able to get some sunshine. Say it again? Oh no, no, no. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. You have a good one. Yeah. April. What's going on, April? April, have you been in the live before? I'm trying to remember if I remember you from another live. I'm getting used to. There's a lot of names that come in and out the chat, so I don't get a chance to remember everyone, or some people kind of show up one time and whatnot, and then some people just come and go, you know. But yeah, you subscribe, okay. Yeah, I was trying to remember if there was one dude who showed up in my chat. His name was Dylan. Oh, you're new. Okay, okay. Well, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. There's one dude named Dylan. He was when I had the viral moment. This dude was talking to me, and I thought he was someone else looking for the comedian I was talking about. So then I felt bad because I addressed him like, "Nah, man." Da da da. He said, "No, no, I've been here, man. I've been here." So it's just kind of I gotta always ask now. I gotta make sure. But yeah, thank you, thank you. Oh, iced Americano joint. Like I be telling myself I don't. There's probably like 3 or 4 days of the week I drink coffee, but the other days I'm kind of just chilling. No, I like. Hold on, I'm lying. I'm lying. I grabbed a. Did I grab coffee on Saturday? I think I did. Yeah, I had an Americano on Saturday. And what made it worse is I grabbed the. They call this it was like an energy elixir. I got that shit from this little like they call it electric coffee house down in Sumner. So before the event, I stopped through there. I was trying to see the owner. I was trying to see the owner of the store because she's a really nice person. She cooked up my quesadilla last time. She wasn't working that weekend, or maybe she just wasn't around. But yeah, I grabbed the energy elixir over there. She was crazy. Nice guy. I appreciate it, April. I appreciate it. I try to stay positive. I mean, it ain't easy right now, but I'm making the best of it. Gavin was the first person to like. I think you were Gavin. I think yeah, because I remember you were the first person that showed up in the chat feed. So I appreciate that, man. That's love right there. You know, basically what I was speaking about, earlier was I just got done listening to the Brilliant Idiots, and Andrew Schulz had said this thing during one of these segments. The segment was about this segment. Thank you, appreciate that. The segment was basically about how do I explain this? People who are trying to go viral and people who are trying to like always use clickbait and stuff like that, things that don't really make sense. You know what I mean? So one of the things that he was speaking about was hey, morning. And one of the things he spoke about was well, I'm trying to position this where I'm not in the sun, so I might have to move the bench. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to move this. Let me show you real quick what I'm working with. You know, saying one-handed joint. Might have to just damn, straight like that. Yeah, right in the sun. They got a bird scat up on there. Watch my hands. That's what I'm gonna do. One-handed. There you go. Kind of put me right in the center. Then I'm gonna get back on topic. Getting right, manual labor. First thing in the morning. It is. All right, bro. Should I face the sun? I ain't gonna face the sun. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get acclimated here. Am I using the right word? There we go. All right, here we go. Prop that up right there. Right by the vines, man. Get some sunlight right above, right in front of me. Right in front of me, get the sunlight. You know, if I position it the other way, it's gonna come this way. It's gonna be fucked up. There it is. Keep that whatever. But no, so they were speaking about certain channels and pages. All they do is clickbait. They'll just say like, "Oh, these people were talking trash to each other. These people here were arguing." And in the clip, there's not even no crash outs. There's not even no arguments. There's none of that. It's like all this clickbait stuff. All these people kind of pandering and saying something negative happened, something foul happened, whatever. What ends up happening is people just end up clicking on the channels and stuff. Your name is Lucy? Okay, your real name is Lucy. Got you. Gotta go. Your friend texted me. All right, appreciate it. Thank you for dropping in either way. Appreciate you dropping in. Thank you for being here. Lucy, real name Lucy. And yeah, it's really interesting because they got to this point, and in the topic, Schulz goes, you know, like, I think that's the name of the. I'm starting to forget it, but that's the title of the video or the live stream, I should say. He goes, first evidence of lack of creativity is all you can do is destroy something, and that made a whole bunch of sense to me because I was like I said in the beginning, it made a whole lot of sense because dude, based off the people I know in life that said they wanted to create things and still haven't to this day. Okay, I thought this was a to this day, all they do is talk about everyone else. Got nothing else to show for it. They have nothing else to show on behalf of the things that they criticize. You know what I mean? Then you see this thing too, where like I think later on one of the topics was people that are out of shape judging sports and stuff like that. People that haven't participated in a particular sport or even on a professional level having the criticism for it, whether that's fair or not. And it's like I'm not sure whether it is or not. It also is one of those. That's the free country discussion. You know what I'm saying? Where you're able to be a professional critic, if that makes sense. Oh, I got these flies over here. Be a professional critic, if that makes sense. And things along those lines. What I would say is, for me, obviously, I was covering OKC in Indiana last night, or like recapping it after the game. So my main thing was like, I got to come from a positive perspective. I got to come from a place of like, I can only highlight the positive stuff because I can't perform on that level. I can't even dunk. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty close, but I ain't there yet. My only criticism is everyone taller than me. Anyone taller than me that can't dunk, I'm like, bro, y'all tripping. Because I'm like right there. I'm like hitting like the middle and like the beginning of the net. I'm like smacking that. So I'm like right there. I'm at the 9 feet mark at least. My hand gets to at least 9 feet because that thing's a 10-foot rim. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at with it. Oh, Lucy said they'll be back. I'm chilling either way, so I appreciate it. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of warm this morning. It is kind of warm, but I wanted to post up and kind of just chop it up, talk a bit about this. Hold on, let me get situated too. I need to grab a napkin. So I'll be back on you know, I'll be back in sight in a bit. Give me a second. Yeah. All right. You walk with it for a bit. I'll be right back at the same spot. I didn't want to leave the camera abandoned. That's my main message too, man. Like I'm really at a point of, I want to make sure everyone stays on a positive path. Because the thing is, it's tricky, right? There's too many signs of people that would discourage you along the way, along the path, and we're slowly getting the opposite now. Like we're slowly getting more people encouraging people to just keep on trying. Like why not? Because the thing is, whether it's video games or whether it's just you speaking out loud, speaking your truth, right or wrong, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Nonetheless, it's keeping you out of trouble. You could be actually conducting yourself in a negative manner in general. You know what I'm saying? Just in general. You could just be conducting yourself out there, um, thinking it's productive to do crime or something. You know what I'm saying? Some people will find what do you call this? What's the word I'm looking for? Monetary gain through crime and whatnot. You know what I mean? People will do that, and they'll try to they'll think that's a productive thing to drug your community, etc. I'm not here to judge necessarily. People are kind of stuck in their circumstances as much as they're what's the word I'm looking for? They just know what they know. That's the ignorance of just knowing only what you know. You got a girlfriend called, asked to play there. Or go do your thing, Gavin. Yeah, don't feel obligated to be here, man. I appreciate you dropping in nonetheless. I appreciate that. That's some good advice. Yeah, man, just try to stay positive, man, in all aspects, in all things. Oh, try to stay positive, man. I'm over here fighting allergies right now. Man, how's it going? There's a little dog over here, so I'm a little distracted. But yeah, no. So yeah, I thought about this because it was like, to it's hard to give sound advice to people or to kind of I don't know what the word is. I guess institutionalized is the word I use because I'm going based off of like people I grew up with. They're a little more institutionalized for certain activities and their approval of certain people. And I thought about this also because I was thinking about this one what do you call this? This excuse me, sorry. This is one lady used to be my coworker, and she saw that I would always switch up shoes every 1.5 to 2 years. You know what I mean? She thought she saw me switching up my work shoes, but my work shoes would always match my scrub. So I'd always try to get something like teal or aqua colored. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you always got these nice shoes on. I said, where do you go? So I showed her the GOAT website, and I was like, I just try to keep my shoes under $100, and it's just something that's comfortable. So I was using some basketball shoes, like some James Hardens, because those are comfortable shoes. However, because I was wearing them loosely at work, the bottoms are so heavy because you're supposed to absorb force playing basketball, snatching rebounds and stuff, that it was kind of heavy on my foot over time, like my joints. So I was like, well, I'm not even like doing basketball activities. I'm just like walking and having to push and carry things. So I needed things that were more like standing shoes, but more importantly, things that I can kind of like power, like basically power lift, because like the carts and stuff that I was moving, carts and the tubs and everything that I was moving can go anywhere from 400 to 500 pounds. So I needed some shoes that were like light, but also had some good traction underneath it. Anyway, I started going on to like finding like New Balance, and there was another shoe I had. I believe it was like New Balance, but New Balance was probably like the best one. But I was talking to her, and then she goes, "Yeah, maybe I want some running shoes. Maybe I want some shoes I can work out with, something that's the equivalent of that." I said, "Well, maybe you should get some Hokas or like Brooks, or, just start there, or then just something like running wise." And she was kind of like very into name brands, so we started talking more. She's like, I just want something that's Nike. I was like, we could find something that's Nike on the app and the website, but I think you're better off having a brand that's going to last you a little longer. The Nike stuff, like, you don't really know. It's kind of just made, I wasn't trying to trash Nike. I was just like, it's made a little more it's not ergonomic, it's not specific, if that makes sense. It's more all around, like it's more I don't want to say versatile, but it's versatile, but it's not specific to her actual job. So anyway, we started talking more. Yo, these flies up in here, man. We started talking more about it. She's like, yeah, I just want to only wear Nike. That's all I want to wear. And I started thinking, like, she's kind of from that background where some of her friends growing up would probably only approve of her if she was wearing name brand stuff. You know what I mean? Like, the more newer off-brand stuff would be like the Hokas and the Brooks, even though they're like ergonomically better for you. But I was like, honestly, man, if you're around people that can only approve of you wearing approved brands, like specific brands, then I don't know if they're really your friends. You got to think about that stuff too. Some people will always sit there and criticize the clothes you're wearing, the colors you got on. You know what I'm saying? The shit, facial hair, right? People will just always have things to say about you. So you got to ask yourself: are these really your friends, or these people that feel the need to pick at your supposed flaws or whatever? As someone the other day You know, I thought I really related it back to like an aunt that I had. Excuse me. Telling you, man, spring is killing me. Give me 1 second. Welcome back, Lucy. Yo, hold on. Might have to mute for a second. But yeah, it's I had an aunt. You know, my aunt was like she was super out of shape all the time, and then she would ask me if I showed up to martial arts practice. Cause she used to play the music there and shit, and I was just like, "Nah, I haven't been going." She's like, "I think you need to go." You know, so she would sometimes just see me eating good. I'd be a little pot bellied or whatever, but she would kind of just give me this weird advice. And this is like your elder, so they should be giving you advice. But she's super out of shape. She don't walk nowhere. She drives everywhere. She does a little bit of movement, and she starts getting injured all the time. But she's kind of like reset, out of shape. But it's just funny because at the same time, she had the nerve to sit there and have a criticism to me to go work out when I'm walking around way more than her type shit. And I work out when I can if my schedule permits because it's overtime and shit. But it was a little funny. But then like I just started realizing she did this little thing where she saw like a few gray white hairs, you know, whatever, on like the side of my head. It was like a few strands. She's quick to point it out. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I realized that when she talked to all my cousins, she would point out all their flaws. She couldn't help but talk about everyone else, but didn't do nothing for herself. And I'm like, you know what, man? This is just who she is. But at the same time, I don't need to be around this shit. So yeah, I be thinking about people like that. But like, it's funny because I'll run into the same people, same thing. Yo, I'm tired of these flies like just over here fighting over my shit. But I'm also in the sun, so it is what it is. I'm also at this bench that's kind of messed up. Your VR was not changed or charged. Charged. I'm sorry. Welcome back though, Gavin. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm over here fighting allergies right now, man. It's rough. All this pollen. It's a mix of pollen and also like I gotta just start eating a little better, eat a little right. But yeah, that's where I'm at mentally right now with you know, I draw inspiration from either something last night, this morning, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just find something and I try to, you know, feed off of that. And speaking of which, back to creators and positive energy, I want you guys to check out the twins because you know they made me a moderator, but at the same time, it's a really good channel. So it's TH Tree. Wait, I said tree. God damn it. TH3 number 3 TWINZ. Twins. It's just these twins that just count money, and all it is ones and fives. So everybody in the chat, there's literally like hundreds of people talking trash, and I'm talking about, oh, this ain't real money. You guys are broke. That's like ones and fives. Y'all broke. You know, saying all this like negative stuff to them. Literally like hundreds of them, and there was like one person staying positive. So that means that 1 out of 100 people were staying positive the whole time in the chat. So I jumped in. I was like, man, let me say something good to them too, because at least they trying. And honestly, they got more subs than me. They got like 2,000 or something funny. 2,000. They got like 300 people normally in the chat. You know, just talking to them. I mean, like in the chat, but like normal people talking like 50 or 100 or something like that. Anyway, the math I'm saying is like, let's say like there's 100 people, there's 100 comments that are negative. There's one person staying positive. I decided to say something positive too and keep it rolling, right? So now that's 2 out of 100. That's, you know, technically that's 1 out of 50. We just minimize the fraction by just participating once. You know what I'm saying? Just adding one extra person in the participation of positivity, you start cutting down the fractions of negative shit. You can do the same shit in your life, bro. Over here playing around like things are bad, you got nothing to look forward to, but it's like you start slowly shaving down all the bad times. You'll get there, man. Hold on, we got Alex. Was good, man? Welcome back, Alex. What's going on, Alex? Yeah, I got hella flies up in here, man. I might have to move spots, bro. But I appreciate you dropping in, Alex. Welcome back. Yeah, man. But it's interesting. So anyway, we started creating this effect in the live chats, pretty much just trying to stay positive. Like, man, they do at least with all these people saying negative stuff to them, they're staying positive in the face of adversity, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So I just started putting it out there. I've missed a couple live chats. Then I jump back in, right? As soon as I jump back in, there's like it's literally like 3/4 of it is just people saying stay positive, stay working, stay grinding. and then the other quarter is just people like still being negative, and then they're not catching on. But we've literally just shifted the momentum of negative comments to positive, like literally by just making an effort and just like spamming, like spamming good things to say, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I tapped into their content to make sure, like, is this something I'm into? And they're just trying their best with what they got. You know what I'm saying? With what they know and the cameras that they got. So yeah, there it is. What are we talking about? There was two things, Alex. There was two things. Right now, we're kind of just speaking. I'm speaking specifically about another live chat that I was tapping in with. It's like a semi-popular channel, I guess, but a lot of people were just really negative in their stream, like in their what do you call this? In their chat, whatever, live chat or whatever. So simply just pushing the positive narrative in their chat, like just telling them to stay motivated and keep going. More people started catching on, and that became a little contagious. And then all the positive chatter started compounding a little more. And ever since then, like it's just been majority positive people in their live chats now. But like literally a month ago, just a whole bunch of people talking trash. Literally a month ago. But before that, I was saying a simple quote that I learned from Andrew Schulz this morning, listening to his podcast. But he said, shoot, I'm forgetting my thought already. He said, first evidence of a lack of creativity is all you can do is destroy something. So people who feel the need to always destroy something, criticize things, and always like knock something down, whether they're able to do it or not, whether they're good at it or not. Usually they're not. That's like a lack of creativity. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't really know how to speak about the positive stuff. And I say that because, last night you saw me. Literally, Alex John was here last night. He saw me do a recap of the Indiana Pacers versus Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's just like, I have nothing but positive things to say. I have a few criticisms as a fan of the sport and a fan of the game. But other than that, I'm like, bro, I couldn't really tell you because I'm not that good at the game. You know what I'm saying? But all I can do is highlight the positive stuff. SGA making more his field goal percentage being higher than what it was last game on Thursday, and then him getting to the free throw. He's still drawing fouls. That's what he's doing. That's what he does, man. That's what he's doing. So I just try to focus on the positive as much as possible. It ain't easy, but once you start getting the hang of it, you start seeing this in everything, bro. Let me show you this. Hold on, while we at it. Yesterday, oh, you were in the water park the whole time? I didn't know you were there the whole. You saying there the whole time? What you mean? I'm gonna have to mute again because I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. But let me show you this in a second. All right, Alex and everybody, let me show you this right here. You see this, man? It's the park I always go to, man, to sit there and do the live streams and whatnot. I'm always here. If I ain't here, I'm at the other park, like down the street, or I'm walking like to and from. When it ends at 6. You talking about yesterday? It ended at 6. Yeah, so I'm always here. You know what I mean? I'm always here. If I got snacks and I got food on me, I'll throw it at the birds. The birds will eat it. So the crows will sit there and eat the Funyuns. They'll eat the chips. You know what I mean? Things like that. I'm walking down to the garbage can real quick. Let me look back at make sure nobody ran up on my backpack. You see this tree right here? I'm under this tree in the rain, right? You see this little part? It's like a quarter of the block. Like it's literally this quadrant of the block, if that makes sense. It's a quarter of it. Actually, hold on. It stretches from this side, from this side to the other end. Hold on, let me show you. So from one end of the street to the other end. Matter of fact, avenue is a specific word, but we're on this side right here, but the other half of it is just like the houses and stuff. The point I'm making is people can sit here and be upset about life still, bro. People will literally be around something like this. There's all this lush greenery, as warm as it is, and as much as you catch a cool breeze, people could be sitting here still being upset about life, still thinking about the things that irritate them or, pester their ego, things like that. You could still, bro, like what I'm saying? People will literally, like, this summer right now getting a free ride at a university. Someone right now getting a free ride at a university, still thinking about when they got teased back in middle school. It happens. You could say it's a mental health thing. You could say it's a, you know what I'm saying? You could sit there and try to clown someone from being negative or whatever. pessimistic, or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, they're trying their best to get through that hump, and that's just what it looks like sometimes. But if you stay at that level, that's when it's a problem. That's when I think it's problematic. I know a lot of old heads just stuck in their ways. I don't want to sit there and go right or wrong because I know them so well. You know what I'm saying? It's like, shit, hold on, there's so many flies up in here because I know them so well, or to some degree. I'm like, bro, these people just stuck in their ways, man. They can never see the positive of things. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you another example. It's like I was riding bro, Alex, man. Bro, I'm in Seattle, man. You got to pay attention to the signs. I'm in Seattle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hold on, let me show you. It might be too bright, but let me show you this. I don't know if you can see that right here. It's kind of bright. I don't know what that is, bro. Something falling to earth. Is that something falling to earth? What's going on here? You see that? Something coming down to earth. Might be just like some satellite stuff. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. That should look crazy. Yeah, man. I'm in Seattle, bro. Maybe there's bees. No, it's a whole bunch of these like flies flying around. So I ain't gonna lie, this bench is kind of compromised. I might have to just sit somewhere else, but for now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? For now I'm here. I didn't want to sit in the shade because I was like, I probably should absorb some sunlight right now because I'm probably gonna sit indoors at the library for a minute. So I'm waiting for them to open up. Get out of here, man. There's hella bees up in here. I'm telling you. I mean, not bees, my bad, flies. But there's probably some bees around here somewhere. There might be some bees behind me right here in this bush. But oh yeah, what I was saying was basically, yeah, there's a kid right now getting a free ride. He's gotten a free ride his whole life. His parents made sure he took care of all this stuff. He or she, excuse me, took care of all the things in their lives. Made sure they were in band practice. Got driven to school. They had food or money for food for lunch, etc. Getting a free ride to university, all this stuff. There's some kids out there doing that right now. My bad. What the heck? Oh, let me know. Yeah. Um, there's someone going through that right now, not able to really appreciate the blessings because it's so normal to them. That's their normal. But because that's their normal, they don't know anything lower than that. So it's hard for them to appreciate what's happening in the now or above it, right? So what I'm trying to say is like, there's someone going through that right now. It doesn't mean they're not appreciative. It's just goes down to like the threshold of what they're able to handle. So I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that. But what I'm saying is when it's an ongoing situation where it's like, bro, you've been sitting here getting spoiled your whole life. The moment you get a moment of discomfort, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And it's the same thing with people that, go through, excuse me, constant, constant pestering. And it's just like the smallest thing will start turning into the biggest issue. Like, people go through the smallest. I do it myself sometimes where like, sometimes I have to analyze if the smallest issue that someone is presenting to me is really a form of racism or a form of like profiling sometimes. And it happens. I go through it so much, so often sometimes where it's like, just in life in general up to this point where it's just like I started to reflect a bit. But also like, I don't want to blame it, but I had the confirmation from friends when I used to organize, like, hey man, all that stuff that you think was a cop just doing their job, like a lot of that was really just harassment, but you probably just you didn't see it that way. You were trying to give people the benefit of a doubt all the time. And I was like, I didn't really think about it. I just thought they were doing the job. Literally, I would just be minding my business and they would fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? So, but looking back, I didn't think about it at the time, but it would just happen. But again, like I said, it happened so much that it became this constant thing. So what I'm saying is like, even when the world is dishing you this thing to try to keep you in place, keep you in this negative state of mind, like, hey, remember you're this poor kid. Hey, remember you're this loser. Hey, remember you're whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. People. I know. I used to work with a dude, and he would complain every day because he had to catch the ferry from Bremerton to come work with us. This dude would catch the ferry, and he would just complain in the little parking booth all the time because his brother would say like all of these. His brother would basically drop the f bomb on him, say these gay slurs to him because he was gay or something. So his brother would just say some wild shit to him every day. But it would fuck with him so much because obviously it's your older brother disrespecting you, calling you out your name, and saying all this crazy stuff. Kai Uchiha, what's going on? You know what I'm saying, Alex? Oh yeah, I appreciate that, man. Kai Uchiha, what's going on? Yeah, Alex. So I'm just sometimes like obviously I'm addressing you because you're in the live chat. Like we're just kind of talking you and me, but at the same time, I'm also just talking to whoever might be listening. But at the same time, people show up in the playback, and people who show up in the playback, they're able to kind of play it back and hear what this conversation was about. Um, but the main aspect, like I said, it goes back to what Andrew Schulz said that made me want to kind of just let's talk about it for a good half an hour to an hour. Let's talk about what he said. Like first, yeah, I'm forgetting the quote already. first evidence of a lack of creativity is all you can do is destroy something. You know what I mean? And I interpret it as like a lot of people, that's all they do. That's really all they're good at. That's all they know how to do. But yeah, which is sad. Which is sad, you know what I'm saying? But there's an old saying like hurt people, man. That shit translates in every field, man. I don't care if it's bro, there's a teacher right now somewhere in the world. There's a teacher somewhere that when they correct papers, all they do is clown on the kids. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't no telling what that teacher been through. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. I had a teacher in science class. Now, mind you, I wasn't like I was the most positive, honest person I am now. But this is like science class, my fourth period, sixth grade, right? I had this teacher. She knew my brother because my brother went to that school 5 years before me. Like he's 5 years older than me, so he'd been there before. But anyway, she knew my brother based off the last name. So anyway, we're in class, and I see her being mean, not just to me, but to some other kids. I just see her being mean. I was like, damn, why is she being mean to kids? So it was kind of throwing me off. So right off the bat, because I'm very expressive, I was like, man, she's a bitch. And I said that shit loud as hell. I didn't care. She got so upset, she dropped my grade from 80% to like 9.7, bro. She spitefully did that. And like, am I saying that's right or wrong? I don't really care because I wasn't really caring in school at that time. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because I literally passed 5 out of 6 of my classes simply because she was hating on me in science. But again, what ended up happening was literally every year after that, I would get criticized by my counselors and stuff. They would like pull me in and be like, "Hey man, you're doing good in school. Obviously, you're always excelling in gym class. You're always passing gym class, but in science, you're always failing." And that all started because she gave me the 9.7, like I wasn't participating in the stuff. And I, like my friend was helping me out with the science project stuff because I didn't really know how to do all that. And you see, I'm trying to say like it's just little motions like that that'll create this ripple effect. Where it's like ever since then, all of these counselors are reminding me that I'm not doing good in science, and I started internalizing maybe I'm not doing good in science. You know what I'm saying? But it really just stemmed from that one thing. And it's funny because when I started doing these little like Wassel and Hispy tests, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, right or wrong, that came down from me calling her a bitch just out loud, not caring about shit. You know what I'm saying? But so I could literally blame myself if I wanted to, which is kind of more of my alley. I'd rather take responsibility and blame myself. But nonetheless, her as a teacher, what she did is kind of like cause this ripple effect just based off the percentages. And I started to believe in it a little bit, slowly but surely. So you got to be careful with that shit. You got to be real careful. You know what I'm saying? I think about this all the time because like the same thing happened to one of my brothers. My brother went through something similar, you know, but this is at home. You know what I mean? He would constantly, my dad was always showing us tough love. So my dad would always just say like kind of fucked up shit to him. And he started to internalize it and he would reflect it in school. Like he would just like all the shit that he would hear at home when he finally went to school, he was like, you know, it makes me not even want to try at school because he might be right. And it really just started trickling and having this effect. But somehow he still found a way to graduate. He really just like he somehow got through it. He's not really a therapy type person. He kind of just powers through life, but he kind of just powered through it. Went through night school, got all his credits, and then he just graduated. But he didn't walk in graduation. He didn't want to. He was just kind of standing on the side. He just kind of was upset at everything he did to get there. But he also had cousins and shit trying to motivate him, like, bro, you better stay on this shit. You better try to graduate. I might have been the only cousin that dropped out. Matter of fact, it's kind of funny, but it's cool because I had, you know, as soon as I dropped out of school, I had a job. I was sitting there working. I was like, ooh. So all my friends were still just sitting in class, like trying to, you know, study and pretend like they, you know, cared about the class. I'm over here making money. My coaches were paying me. You know, my coach was like, bro, well, you can work over here. You work at the gym. We'll give you some money. I was like, let's go. Let's make it happen. I was with it, bro. All right, let me see if I missed something. Oh, it's the same chat. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you being there, no. But yeah, you know, I'm trying to tap in every day for at least an hour. I think I missed that on Saturday, Friday and Saturday. You know, Friday I thought about it. I was like, Friday I should probably, you know, I did Thursday night. So Thursday night I did game one when Indiana beat OKC by 1 point, which is crazy. And then Friday I actually had I don't know if I told you I had a new therapy session. So I had it with a new therapist because the students I usually work with, like the people that come in and out the actual place, you know, they do about a year or two for their clinicals. And then one of my people left. I've been only able to go there like once a month right now based off financial stuff. But nonetheless, I met the new one. We kind of met, got acclimated a bit, trying to figure out, they call it treatment plan, but my whole thing is like I just really like having a place to check in personally because every week and every month, ain't no telling what I'm gonna go through. Where I kind of just need a place to just kind of whatever, some thoughts and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not always able to hit people up. The solid few people that I'm able to hit up, they're either always busy or they're sick. They got appointments going on, so I can't always be in contact with people as much as I'd like to. But it is what it is. I'm working with what I got. So that's just me being proactive or whatever. But yeah, so I had the new, on Friday. It's funny because like after my Friday session, I thought about it. I was like, I should probably go charge up my phone and then get back on live and kind of just, unwind a bit about what I went through on Friday. But then part of the conversation and talk was like allowing myself to have this time to rest and like how that is sometimes more important than like working really hard at stuff. You know what I mean? For me, I'm kind of far behind on all this. Like I feel like I need to catch up in terms of hours, content creation, all that stuff. I need to just keep creating. But at the same time, I have to be mindful of like on a mental fatigue, a mental, what I'm saying? Like there's moments where you just got to go outside and enjoy the sun. Just go outside, enjoy the sun, speak a little less, what I'm saying? Create a little less and just take time to really just lay down a bit, let the body rest, let the mind rest for a second, not work so hard. So I'm getting a little better at that too, but I ain't perfect yet. I ain't perfected. I don't think I ever will be because it's always a work in progress. You get a little somewhere in one aspect. You know how it is, man. You working out, whether it's like leg day, you're doing a whole bunch of this, but then your upper body's getting away from stuff, and vice versa as well. So same thing with the mental and the physical aspects. I've been trying to get in as much as I can. Oh, I worked out Thursday. That's what it was. I worked out Thursday. Those are like the last live streams I was doing. I worked out Thursday. Did a couple, live streams. I might have did a Monster Hunter one. I don't remember if I did or not. And then after that, I waited that night, and then I did the recap of game one. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. So that's just kind of where I'm at. Like I didn't think about it, but I was like, that Friday I really wanted to live stream, and I was thinking like, when I got home after my session, I really just sat, like it's been a while since I just sat down in the living room and watched TV with the family. Every time I watch TV with the family, like we're just watching like stuff on Monday night, which is Kill Tony. And if it ain't that, if that ain't family night, then it's just like me upstairs trying to get as much hours as I can to document it, record it, go to the library, upload, do the same cycle again 4 or 5 days out the week. Just trying to stay consistent. And every weekend, if we're not having tournaments, because I want to film and document the tournament stuff, if I'm not doing that, I'm gonna do like a, what do you call this? We have the casual meets on Sunday, so I just, like I said, I have a lot of footage I need to sit there and work on today when I sit down. So I'm gonna sit down over there and just get to work. My bad. All right, now you gotta go. Oh, mom called. Thanks for doing. I appreciate it, Gavin. No, Gavin, I appreciate you being here, man. You got to be there for mom, man. Be there for mom. You know. Yeah, man. I tell everybody you got to be there for your mom. Matter of fact, wait, what time are we at? 42 minutes. Remind me to speak about mom a bit. Mom's a bit. All right, for whoever's still here hanging out. But I will say, let me think about this. We're just talking about. Okay, so yeah, Friday. Yeah, like I said, I just sat in the living room and was watching TV with my brother, and we were watching. He watches a lot of TV, but he was watching Sakamoto Days, so I'm just sitting there watching it with him. I was like, this is hella funny, actually. It's a pretty good show. And then I was just like, you know what, man? I guess as much as I'm charging my phone right now, I don't want to go outside. I just went went upstairs, took a power nap, waited till it was game time, watched the game, recapped it, and then I left it at that. I was like, I'm chilling. Saturday, like I said, Friday. Well, I'm tripping. That was Friday. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what went down. I think I just power napped, and I just, it's crazy because I power napped, right? And then I did like 5 videos of Dragon Quest. So I have some PS2 stuff coming out. My bad. Oh yeah, that was okay. So I had like 5 videos recorded, and I was trying to do more last night, but like I said, I just knew like mentally, I was like, bro, you can't force stuff. You want to try to get to bed before midnight, if you can. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if you can. That's if you can. But it's been a little, that's where ASMR helps. There's a couple of ASMR channels I've been tapping in with. They're pretty good. I was like, this shit working right now. So I've been doing that a little bit at night. But yeah, then so Saturday we had a tournament. So I did a lot of recording over there as much as I could. It was a mix of plastics, Beyblade stuff, and then some Beyblade X stuff. But it was limited, so it was like things that weren't over 34 grams, no CX stuff, no wide blades, no meta stuff, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, things that were overpowered. So none of that stuff. But um, but then also Sunday we had a casual meet, so I was filming as much as I could, but I was also participating, so I have like half the footage I normally would have had, like time wise. But nonetheless, like I think I have some good footage from there, some good B rolls. You know what I'm saying? I got some B rolls from on the way down to Sumner. I got some Sumner B rolls, etc. So I'm feeling real good about everything, man. I'm feeling real good. Yeah, this big old truck. Get crazy right there. Kind of, I bet I'm over here scoping on everything. But yeah, that's what was going on. And then, like I said, Tuesday I left where we left the casual meet area around 5 because I wanted to catch the game. So I'm over here listening to the game, get home, end up finish watching the game, and then after that I what's it called? What happened after that? After that was oh, I did the recap. So I did the recap basically, and then here I am back on live. So back to the regular scheduled programming on a day like this. Also I want to say I don't know if it's Sundays. I want to say it's Sundays and Mondays probably. Sundays and Mondays you can expect some Yu-Gi-Oh content. That's gonna start coming out. If it ain't Yu-Gi-Oh from Duelist of the Roses PS2, it'll be what game is that? Dragon Warrior Monsters 2 Game Boy Color. So you'll see a bit of everything right now. Yo, I might have to hit the cut. I ain't gonna lie. Damn, bro. It's messed up because this is the side of the house. Matter of fact, walk with me. Yeah, man. It's good to get away from the flies a bit. Damn, I'm sad. I'm sad about that. I seen it coming too. Pause. I seen it coming too. Let me put my backpack on all the way. I'm sad as hell. Give the flies something to rejoice, man. But no, just walk with me, man. You'll see. You see, bro. Gotta go to the park. So let's go walk. I gotta go to the thing. Hey, how's it going? Because I was about to hit the bush, right? And then I was like, they have a bathroom at the park, bro. So I might as well just walk over there. That's what I'm saying. I stay here because they got two really nice parks. Like there's the nice park I just showed right there. Where I'm like, listen, people can sit there, and still feel bad about themselves. To me, it's like it's right up the street, so it's away from all the shootings and all that funny shit, all that goofy shit. And then like the other thing is like um just peaceful, man. It's just peaceful. Like the most like no one really bugs me up here, but at the same time, the most that happens is like someone just mean mugs you because they're racist, probably. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I can handle that. That ain't too bad. You go to other spots, motherfuckers want to test your character. You gotta sit there. I ain't gonna say you have to sit there, but sometimes I gotta stand my ground on some bullshit. And ain't nobody got time to stand for bullshit all the time. You know what I mean? It's a waste of energy. So I just be coming up here where it's peaceful. It's like, why would I? You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this. I might leave you with this. But we'll see how much time we have. One of my oh no, I'm trying to remember. This is a specific podcast, but nonetheless, Waka Flocka was on this. Waka Flocka Flame, man. He was on that shit, and he's been doing more positive shit in his life, but he's also been learning a lot. And one of the things he was talking about was back in the day, his mental was so fucked up that he used to go everywhere bringing his gun with him. He said, "I got my gun everywhere I go, man. I felt like I needed to do that." He said, "How you feel now?" He's like, I don't even walk around with it no more." He said, "Why not?" He said, "No, I mean, think about it. If there's places I have to go where I need it, why would I go there? So I don't even go to those places anymore where I feel the need to have it." You see what I'm saying? Like, and I thought about this too, because whether I was going to certain meetings or I was being around certain people, obviously you got to protect people, right? Protect your loved ones. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. But the need to feel like you're going places or like, oh, I need to make sure I have my car with me and then have the rifle in the trunk. And like, that's how some people think. And it's just like, if you have to go places where you think that way, or you have to be that way, why do you have to be there? There's literally still places like, it's funny, I was talking to a friend of mine. He doesn't even live in the States. He lives, what do you call this? He lives in Europe. And he's like, yeah, you guys in America got all these guns and all this stuff. And I was like, I hear what he's saying, but at the same time, we have little pockets and places where really you don't need that. It's nice to have it. It's safe to have it. It's safe. it's safe to say you have one, but to the idea and the thought like I need to bring this everywhere I go, like it's I don't think that really exists. If that makes sense. I'm not trying to be funny or cryptic. I'm just being honest. Like, you know, I'm a peer, right? It's rare that somebody's gonna flex on me in that regard. It's really rare. You know what I'm saying? Just simply being up here, and I'm like, what street is this, bro? This is 34th right now. So I'm like, if I'm doing the math right, at least somewhere around 10 blocks away from where I live. Am I doing the math right? I can't fucking do the math right now, but it's like I'm about 10 blocks up the hill from where I live. Literally 10 blocks up the hill type shit. I know. And up here, it's just like that's all it takes. Is like you just walk 10 blocks and you're in an area where like you ain't got to worry that much. You ain't got to trip now. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, man. That's where my mental is at. Why would I go places where I got to trip? I go places where I got to worry. You know what I'm saying? And then simply tapping into that frequency, I started realizing, like, you know what, man? Um, why the fuck am I doing all the certain things that I'm used to? Why am I accustomed to certain whatever? You know what I mean? Certain life. You know, does that make sense? Like, why am I used to that? That's not. These are questions I really have to ask myself. But it only made sense when I was practicing otherwise. I'm going to the bathroom right now. That's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing, man. Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna put my stuff, my phone right here. You mind watching it? Is that okay? Yeah. Cool. I'll be quick, man. I'm just using the bathroom. Thank you. Yeah, there's a little bench. I'll be here at night sometimes, but you know, you might have seen it. I'll just be propping my joint up. I'll be right back, man. Let me hit the mute again. All right, there we go. All right, Alex. Let me know if you're there, Alex. Let me know. I just kept the video running. You know, I was gonna sit there and blank the camera out, but I was like, you know, I'm a. Dude, you know, it's crazy. Hold on. I don't know if you guys were here before, but this thing has been here the whole time. Like, this is my coffee right here, but this little lunch bag has been here for like. I was here like what last week, 2 weeks ago, but it's been here the whole time. Yeah, there's like more stuff. Hold on, let me show you. So people just be leaving shit, but it's a nice little spot to post up. Like I said, I've been over here. I guess you know I don't want to blame myself, but I take a little bit of responsibility just in case. But depositing energy, pause. You know what I'm saying, in certain spots and areas. So every time I'm around, you know, I'm very mindful and cognizant of what it is I may or may not be doing in certain little areas. So yeah, we got time to kill. We got time to kill. You know, I might sit in the shade a little bit. I also need to blow my nose though. So, oh yeah, you still here? All right, bro. Give me a second. I gotta get allergies over my ass. I'm still hanging out for now. I actually might go up to I'm gonna show you these little benches because they be leaving them at the park, but I've never sat in them. But I gotta watch out for that dog Dookie. Everybody be walking their dogs through here, you know. Give me a second. My bad. I had to mute because of sneezing. Sneezing season, bro. Some bullshit. More bullshit. I'll post up over here, kill some time. You know, they're doing some construction in the background. We'll see how loud that is. I'm just seeing flies everywhere, man. You know they got the leftover Duke out there. Damn. And now people will play kickball and baseball over here a little bit. Field. It's not really like it's like a makeshift field, but they still be playing over here. I'm gonna try to sit on this one. You're blocking the door. Is this the best chair? I'm gonna try it. Oh, hold on. Yep. Donated by Ezzy. All right. I'm literally down to my last tissue, man. Sneezing season for real. Some bullshit, man. I heard dying. You ever blow your nose so much you just start feeling lightheaded? That's how it is, man. Yeah. It's crazy because a couple of some Beybladers friends of mine's, they weren't able to show up to any events this weekend because they were feeling sick, and I was like, yo, they're probably going through what I'm going through too, where it's just like allergies and whatnot, you know, just allergies affecting them. Being sick is not a good feeling, man. It's tough. It's also tough on like, you know, especially like recently, you're trying to enjoy foods, going out to eat and enjoy foods, and then you kind of go through like maybe a week or a couple of days of it. You know, people call them cheat days, but they really start to affect your health in the long run, which is sad, man, because it's like we want to just enjoy life sometimes, man. You know, it sucks because right now I'm sitting in the shade, so I don't know how I feel about this. Kind of want to just be in the sun, but I don't know, man. I might walk back over to the bench. Okay, I'll wait till the 64 mark. We'll see. My body probably needs to cool down. You know. But no, I was speaking about something earlier, man. Trying to backtrack a bit. Waka Flocka was saying, he don't need to go anywhere. He used to be a type of person. He brought his guns everywhere just to feel safe. But he was like, if I have to go places where I need to bring it, I probably shouldn't be there. Which is a very fair assessment. Like I said, there's certain bus rides I used to take. There's certain bus routes I used to be on. There's certain neighborhoods I used to go through, and there'd be neighborhoods that weren't my neighborhood that I walked through just to get to someone else's house. But you know, sometimes like the thing about me was like, if you ask me where I'm from, like, who are you, bro? Where you from? Like, you know, because I'm not from that area. I'll let you know right away. I'm from the Central District, and I'm from the CD. So it's like, motherfucker, hear that shit, and they ain't trying to hear it. They ain't in the mood for that. I'll stand there and let them know, like, bro, I ain't with no bullshit. I'm right here with the bullshit, but I'm on nothing, bro. I did nothing to nobody, but let me know what time it is. Because, you know, I'm like proud of where I'm from, but that don't mean I'm going to sit there and disrespect where you're from. Does that make sense? I'm proud of where I'm from, but I'm not going to disrespect where you're from. So, but I know when I'm navigating certain neighborhoods, some people be on point and mad all the fucking time. Some people just stay mad. But then I started asking myself, was like, it's not that I'm scared to walk to them places. I don't mind being in them places. I don't mind walking through there, but you got to understand something. When I'm in certain spots, it's like, why do I have to be here? How important is it to visit a friend? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the whole whatever started to shift. Like I'm from the neighborhoods, but I'm not with no funny shit. I'm not with no goofy shit, whatever. You know? I let people know. I stand there and talk to them. It's like, hey man, Let me know what's really going on. Like I did nothing to none of your friends, none of your homies, whatever. But if you want to be mad, you can stay mad. But I had nothing to do with that. But same thing, it's like you go to them places without a gun. Like that's a whole. Some people feel the need to bring that everywhere they go. My whole life, I couldn't afford one. Couldn't afford one, so it's like I was going through them places, just ready to throw hands anyway. Nothing ever happened because I sat there and respectfully talked to people. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't disrespect where you're from or who you were. I just let you know who I was. But a lot of times people try to disrespect where I'm from. Like, hey man, don't talk about my neighborhood like that. I love where I grew up. Very plain and simple. You know what I mean? So anyway, I said to say like man has a point, and I started thinking like if I got to go places where I got to be ready, like why? You know what I mean? I used to go places where like I used to even go out with family members, just go out to drink and party with them, and they would ask me if I had like a gun on me, like shit like that. Like just and it seemed disrespectful. It was like, why are you asking me this question? Why would you ask me that? Why would you ask me to be that protected person when you're starting shit? How about you don't start shit? So we don't have to be in that predicament. We can go to places, we can go drink somewhere, we can casually just sit there and chat about life and not have to harp on people negatively. So I'm very mindful. That's why, every time you see me on live stream, I'm by myself because it's like I have a lot of people in my contacts, a lot of names. I have a lot of friends on Discord, a lot of names, a lot of people I know in person I can probably reach out and talk to. But at any given point, I start to see the negativity in certain people. I just don't want to be around you like that. I'm like, I just rather be by myself because I know I'm going to say something positive. I know I'm going to affirm myself. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay kind of being alone. This isn't a disrespect or a disregard to people I actually know in person. You know what I'm saying? There's like positive places, positive aspects of stuff, but I'm almost like I'm like almost annoyingly overly positive sometimes, where like I just can't hear any bit of like criticism sometimes. Like it gets to that point. I get a little sensitive at that, but I get it though. A lot of things are kind of rightfully criticized, rightfully critiqued and commented on. But I just for sometimes there's days where I'm like, it just is what it is, man. You know what I mean? It was kind of funny. I was chatting it up with my guy Xander yesterday. Is hella funny because he was kind of advocating for. There's like two different rule sets. There's like WBO 7 points and Beyblade, and 3-on-3 or deck rules and stuff like that. And then he just prefers play to four BBAX. A lot of people won't understand this talk, but his whole thing was he was kind of just against or anti um, WBO at times, and I was like, I respect that. I was like, but I think I was kind of just advocating on the side of deck rules, and I was like, you know, long story short, we just kind of had like a difference of opinion, but agree to disagree. But also we agreed on certain things, if that makes sense. My thing was like even just simply having that conversation. Sometimes I was like, I hope that this isn't like bringing out the worst in him, that where he's just anti everything. But at the same time, I was very mindful of like I realized that this like I'm okay playing any format. Like when he started breaking it down, I was like, he's breaking down the rules. I was like, hold on, we gotta try this out. I want to try out the four, play the four, 3-on-3 with a fourth alternate. I wanted to try it out. And I realized, man, like it doesn't matter what rule set of Beyblade they put in front of me. I want to try all of them. Like pause, you know what I'm saying? I want to try all the formats, rule sets and stuff. But I don't really have like one that I hate, if that makes sense. If there's one that I hate, it's probably the one I do at the house, which is funny because it's like I want certain blades to win, but then I'm over here just double launching at the same time. So that's like the worst like I can do is probably what I do at the house. But even then, there's no competition there. It's just me documenting a storyline, if that makes sense. So I have that going on. You know, how's it going? Morning. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with it. Hey, morning. But yeah, that's my main thing. I think like, and that's not like a positive or negative thing. I think it's just more of like it's just kind of who I am, I guess, at this point where I don't have a I don't have a preference. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay trying things out, but in terms of critiquing it, I can see the pros and cons of everything, like the flaws and stuff. I guess. I could also see why it made. Also, like I don't want to say blessed, but like I was also privileged to run into like toxic people early in certain communities, so I know the extent of someone's like gripes. You know what I'm saying? Criticisms and gripes and whatnot. Give me a second. I need to move some things around. Let me grab a second. A tissue. I'll put this down. It's my last tissue, like I said, man. Just come down to it. On say Lucy, aka or April, aka Lucy. I basically I go on mute because I don't want to blow my nose on the mic. But I appreciate you coming back, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. I'm just very mindful. Like I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit. There we go. I don't want to blow my nose all on the mic. You know what I mean? But like I said, I knew when I left the house I was gonna be blowing my nose a whole bunch. I already knew. Like I'm gonna be out here doing all that. But yeah, it's really interesting, and it's funny because I was being affirmed too by former therapist and the most recent one, saying the same thing as like you're having this higher. I use the word cognizance, but I was like, there's an awareness. There's a I'm saying that I'm tapping into a little more, just recognizing things. I'm taking a step back a lot more because I'm always trying to move forward, but like just simply taking a step back is all I needed, bro. I was like, I'm moving forward so much, taking a step back and analyzing something, just sitting there and not necessarily critiquing it, but just analyzing it was all I needed to go through sometimes, just to have this what's the word I'm looking for? Like excuse me, to actually move forward, if that makes sense. I was running up against a wall at times, man. But rest in peace to Nip. Says for something very similar, man. Minor setback for major comeback. All these affirming things, all these things that are starting to click and make sense. It's just like starting to attack at the same time. In an hour, you're going to Panda Express, getting cookies from Crumble. Cookies from Crumble. I don't know if I know that restaurant. Crumble. I don't know if we have a Crumble here. We might, but I probably don't know about it. Panda Express, though, I feel like that's a big. Everybody knows Panda Express, whether they get it or not. That sounds kind of good. I do like the little what is that thing, like the shrimp or the coconut prawn or whatever? Coconut shrimp, coconut prawn, things like that. Yeah, buddy. Check something, man. 9:52. We got a lot of time. We got 8 minutes really before the door was open. I'm gonna walk slow as I can. You know what I mean? I'm walk slow as I can. I might post it below. But the thing is, if I keep still, it's not a restaurant. It's a cookie business. It's a cookie business. Okay. Crumble. I wonder if we got a. I wonder if we got one here. I'm in Seattle, so I don't know. So I don't think we got one up here, but I wonder if that's local to where you're at. Is that a big chain though? That a big cookie chain kind of business? Are they in multiple states or multiple cities? Because we're not like the most major city, but like we have stuff that, like for example, New York and or you're in Tennessee. I wonder if it's more for down there then. We have like a damn, I'm trying to remember the name. We do have like a thing for cookies and sweets. Do you guys have Cupcake Royale? We have Cupcake Royale. They actually had one over here, but then they shut down, and now it's like a new mom and pop, like a little indie business called Yokai or something. No, my bad. Yokai is a ghost, but Yoka is the name of their thing. It's like Korean and Jap. Jesus Christ, it's Korean and Filipino. But I met the dude. I think it was the husband. I think he's the Filipino husband. So I met him, and we kind of looked at each other like, are you Filipino too? Like we kind of gave each other that look, and then we're like, okay, okay. We just kind of we talked a little bit. He just let me know. I don't think they're open on Mondays though. I walked past the restaurant earlier. I don't think they're open on Mondays. But yeah. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? You're about to get Panda Express and some cookies though. That's crazy. I'm kind of jealous. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of jealous. That's why I wish I had like more income like I did before, because sometimes when I leave the library, I do want to go up the street and grab some pad thai. It's kind of a good thing that I don't make like, if I was making thousands or millions, I know I'd probably be dead from like alcohol consumption and food, a combination. But I actually stopped drinking back in 2023. Yeah, 2023. So it's been about close to 2 years. You know. Oh no, I'm lying, because June 3rd is when I stopped. So it's actually been 2 years now. I haven't drank for 2 years, which is pretty good because I'm trying to make it to 10. So I got 8 more years. And Trying to do 10 years of no drinking. You love Chinese food? Yeah. Does Panda Express count? I don't know if Panda Express counts. Like, no offense to, if they actually have Chinese workers, but because I go to actual Chinese restaurants, like, more often. We have a Chinatown with some good food, so I'll be going to Chinatown, you know. Got to get that, there's a little spot I go to called, damn, what's that joint called? I already forgot the name, bro. Holy shit. I just know it's like a red building, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like I know Panda Express is Chinese food, but I don't know, like, you see what I'm trying to say is like compared to like an actual Chinese restaurant, like something called Din Tai Fung or something, you know what I'm saying? Or we have these like spots. Like we have a spot over here, right? I forgot the name of this shit. It's gonna bother me. But it's where Bruce Lee used to go. Bruce Lee used to kick it in Chinatown over here in Seattle. And there's a specific restaurant he used to go to all the time. And like they have his cutout, his cardboard cutout. They're just hanging out. And then there's pictures of him hanging out with the owner's parents and grandparents and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. But do you see what I'm trying to say? Like Panda Express is more like the Americanized branding name of a Chinese it's Chinese food, but like an American chain, if that makes sense. But I mean, I don't fucking know who owns it or runs it, so I'm kind of like I don't really know. But I guess for me, I'm so used to mom and pop Chinese restaurants that it's hard for me to consider them. No offense to but that shit's bomb though. I ain't gonna lie. My niece and my cousin took me to that shit hella bomb. My niece and my cousin took me to Pan Express first time a couple years ago. I was like, bruh, this shit's hitting right now for a good price. I ain't gonna lie, shit's hitting right now. So I know the feeling. Excuse me, I gotta get this condensation off. I'll do it later. Are we good? But yeah, that's how I feel. Bruce Lee used to be over here though. Yeah, there's a little spot. Matter of fact, from where I'm at, if I kind of like go down the hill, there's like a little. I forgot what street that is. If I go down I might go down the slope. I might do it next live. I don't know yet. I'm kind of busy, but if I go down there, there's a little spot where apparently Bruce Lee's his uncle used to have a grocery store down there. He would just sell a little produce, but a lot of people from the neighborhood would reference that area and reference him. Sometimes in conversations with me, but just nonetheless. Yep. Yeah, what's wrong with this coffee? All right, let me check something real quick. Got a few minutes left. Yeah, a few minutes left, man. I'm gonna end it on the note I started on. Back to what Andrew Schulz was saying. Yeah, Alex, the account is April, but the real name is Lucy. The account says April, but the real name is Lucy. They were saying that earlier in the chat. But yeah, honest mistake, honest mistake. But yeah, Schultz was saying first evidence of a lack of creativity. I'm gonna say it as many times as possible so the people understand. First evidence of a lack of creativity is what was it? The need to destroy something. You know what I mean? The need. It's an honest mistake, Alex. Don't worry about it. The need to destroy something. The need to criticize things and be negative about everything that you probably can't do yourself or have never done. You know what I mean? So that's the way I related. That's the way I kind of interpreted it. You know what I mean? And I find that to be true. Hey, well, I hope today's not a holiday. I didn't double check, but I think I see the lights on. I think the library is open. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. I love y'all and appreciate y'all. Everyone dropping in on me. Everyone saying hi to me. Everybody saying what's up. Met you for the first time, seeing you from before, whatever. That's how I always end my podcast, man. I love you guys and I appreciate y'all, man. Peace. Catch me on the next one.